It was a night of electricity. It was a playoff atmosphere. The first 12 runs of this epic matchup between the Yankees and the Astros were all off of 3-run home runs. Who would end up on top? Would the Astros withstand the onslaught of the Yankees offense? Would the relief pitchers hold the line? The Yankees and Aaron Judge had something to say about that. Unfortunately, it didn't go the Astros' way, giving up 4 in the ninth. We'll talk about this on tonight's edition of Locked On Astros.
Hello and welcome to Locked On Astros, your daily Astros podcast. Here are your hosts, Eric the Man Huysman and Brett Htown Wheelhouse Chancey.
We are Locked On Houston Astros, and we are your daily Astros podcast. I'm Htown Wheelhouse. You can find me on Twitter at Htown Wheelhouse. You can find me on Instagram at Htown Wheelhouse as well. You can find the show at Locked On Astros, your team every day. The Houston Astros fall, and you can find the show at Locked On Astros on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And I'm bringing in my co-host here tonight. Eric, where can they find you at?
You can find me at Eric Talk Stros, and you can find the show at Locked On Astros, your team every day.
Hey, you know what? I'm not hurt at all. You look hurt. I feel your pain, bro. I'm not hurt. I'm good. Show tonight is not brought to you by Misery. It's brought to you by Blue Nile. Blue Nile is a place we want you to go. Make your moment sparkle with jewelry from BlueNile.com. And Locked On Sports listeners, Locked On Astros listeners, get $50 off your purchase of $500 or more by using the promo code Locked On. So let's get into this, Eric. I was kind of sending you updates towards the end. I really thought we were going to skate through this. I would just send you a couple of details because I know you're still out. And I was like, oh, this is going to be an easy thing. I'll throw you, hey, 3-run home runs here. And, you know, who's leading? We're leading. And, I mean, things really, dude, Framber Valdez really started off shaky, and that's where I want to start. I don't want to start with the negative. I don't want to start with the 4 and 9th. Let's save that till the last part. Right. Let's focus on the being always positive, always Stros. So, Eric, here's the deal. To get the game started, it looked like it was going to go the Astros' way. Jose Altuve hit by a pitch, his second pitch in the arm guard, okay? I was actually listening to the national broadcast, and I don't know why I thought it was only on MLB Network, but I was listening to Bob Costas, and he was really annoying me. He was so annoying that my wife even said, why is he talking about 2017? It's like 2022. Can't they get over it already? I'm like, she doesn't even pay attention, and she knows. She's like, Bob Costas, he's trifling. It was hilarious. So Altuve gets hit by a pitch. Brantley singles. Altuve goes to third. Then Alex Bregman gets up. He's back. 3-run home run. Boom. 3-0. Astros on top. Crooked number. Framber Valdez comes out. 4-pitch walk to start the game. His first 10 pitches, only 3 strikes, 7 balls. Started very shaky. Gives up what? Boom. A 3-run home run to Stanton. Stanton that was only his second hit at bats. He's been in a slump, so they tie it 3-3, right? So at that point, Eric, if it's 3-3, right, going into the second inning, you're thinking, okay, this is going to be a back and forth game, right?
Right. And then you have Alvarez do what he's been doing. He had his 4th home run in 3 games, and it was 3-run home run, and it put the Astros ahead 6-3. And it's just like, this dude's on fire. How much hotter can this guy get? And you would think that with the Astros bullpen, that lead would stick, and it was an awesome shot. I saw the replay, and just to see Bregman start to hit. It was his 9th home run of the year. The home runs are starting to accumulate for him. He's starting to get the hits. Altuve had 3 hits, and the Astros did enough to win this game, and it's frustrating because the Astros normally pitch well enough to get the win, but they don't normally hit enough.
Well, Pressley pitching on back-to-back nights, I don't know if that had anything to do with it. I know they changed time zones. I know they had to take a trip. It's on the road. I wouldn't be so much concerned. Yeah. But here's the deal. let's talk about Pressley at
Yeah,
the end. Okay, I
I
don't
know.
want to talk about that right now. So Jordan's home run, like you mentioned, it was his fourth home run in the last 5 games.
Okay.
He's homered in 3 straight games. You had that right. He homered in 3 straight games. Okay, listen to these numbers, Eric, and this is how good Jordan's been. I'm going to give you his walk percentage and strikeout percentage from 2019 till now. Okay. 2019, Jordan Alvarez had a 14% walk rate and a 25.5% K rate. In 2021, because 2020 he was out, 2021, 8% base on ball rate, 24% K rate, 24.5%. This year, 2022, 12.5% walk rate, which is his second highest, 15% K rate. I mean, what this guy is doing at the plate is absolutely 100% outstanding. But what's crazy, as I mentioned in the intro, the first 12 runs of this game were all 3-run home runs. Now, I don't know if that's been done before. The stat nerds would have to go find that out for us. But after Framber Valdez gave up that 3-run home run and he gave up a 4-pitch walk, he retired the next 14 batters. After he walked Aaron Hicks in the first, 14 batters in a row. What sank his ship and what allowed him not to go longer in this game, Anthony Rizzo saw 16 pitches, 11 foul balls, and 1 at bat. The 14th pitch he threw, Eric, was a ball, and it was a strike. It wasn't on the corner of the box. It was inside the box, and the umpire called it a ball. That allowed that at bat to extend, and that really, I think, set the tone to not allow him to go. He was he was set up to have another win from a valiant start, and the relief pitching just couldn't get the job done. But what do? This was a playoff atmosphere. The crowd was out of it. Momentum swung back. And what happened? The Yankees took full advantage. They're not going to lay down because we're the Astros. Even though
Right.
we have a fair amount of success against them, playoff wise and stuff, they're not laying down. And they are on a historic run right now. I mean, and I'm not trying to pump them up or say I'm a fan of theirs, but if you deny what kind of run they're on right now, it's pretty dang impressive.
Well, and I know we're waiting till the end, but Aaron Judge is definitely going to make his mark on any game. This guy is trying to become the MVP of this league. He's having one of the best seasons of his career. His numbers are remarkable. I know Alvarez is having one of his best seasons as well, but Judge is making his mark on this team. Stanton is making his mark on this team when he's healthy. But Aaron Hicks, he's not making his mark on this team this year, and that was just really impressive what he did. But I'm not.
Oh man.
This was the Yankees are a great team. The record states that how they're scoring, how their pitching is standing up. This is and we said this yesterday. This is a good test to see where the Astros are and the bullpen, at least for this one game. I think you sent it to me. You said that Pressley did not look right in this game, and
He
we can go.
I'll kind of expound on that. Um, he was falling off the mound and spiking pitches. I mean, now he's settled down a little bit, right? But he's still like when and then later on when you have Judge up there and you got an open base, just freaking walk him. I mean,
You're
take your
right.
chances. I mean, why pitch to that guy? That reminded me of the not necessarily like the Pujols home run, but when there's a batter up there, you know right to him. But right here, Xavier Miranda says, watching the show, thanks for watching. It's all good. I have the Astros winning tomorrow and the last game. Split the series where those were my picks in the beginning. So a 2-2 split, Jay Roberts mentions the 3-batter rule killed us because I literally asked the question. And then after I tweeted it, I realized the error of my question was, why don't they pull Pressley? Well, he hadn't faced his third batter yet. His third batter, boom, home run. And so it's just one of those things. Dude, Eric, Jose Siri. this guy at the plate looked abysmal, man. He had a 3-pitch at bat. His last 2 pitches that he took, especially the last one, a piped fastball right down the middle, didn't even swing. Like, didn't even check swing. And I'm like, go sit down. Like, that was a terrible at bat. This guy, and you could see it. I don't know. Maybe I was overreading things, but it just looked to me like he has a weight on his shoulders, like he knows something. Because Jake Myers is in the dugout. Somebody's going back to Sugarland tomorrow. I wouldn't be surprised if Siri doesn't get a plane ticket to Sugarland because he still has the option to go back.
Yeah, and we didn't talk about this in yesterday's podcast, but Jake Myers in his last game had 2 home runs and went 4 for
He did.
4. And so that was a big statement in his last game. And so definitely that's something we can talk about next. But we need to address some other things real quick, right?
No, yeah, definitely. So BlueNile.com is the original jeweler to high-income adults. But here's the thing. You don't have to be a high-income adult because they specialize in all kinds of jewelry at all kinds of price points. Wedding jewelry, fine jewelry, it doesn't matter. They have it. You will like their personalized rings. I mean, you're not going to get a ring for your special someone and it look like your neighbor's wife's engagement ring. Like, oh my gosh, we got the exact same ring. No, it's going to be your ring. You get to set the stone, the size, the clarity, the shape. And they have jewelers on hand 24/7. Like if you're having a hard time, like you've been to jeweler after jeweler and you just don't know, they'll help you narrow it down. They are going to bring you the engagement ring of your dreams. Blue Nile has simple online tools to help you choose whatever you're looking for. So if you're going to look for that today, and if you're going to go to Blue Nile, then make their moment sparkle with jewelry from BlueNile.com, and Locked On Astros listeners get $50 off purchases of $500 or more. This podcast exclusive includes engagement rings. Use the promo code Locked On. The promo code Locked On plus every order is insured, ships free, and arrives in discreet packaging that won't give away what's inside. Shop stress free and find your forever place at BlueNile.com today. And another thing I want to mention to y'all tonight is make sure that you have checked out everything from Locked On MLB to Locked On NBA. If you missed the draft, go back and watch the draft show. They'll have it up live. Just make sure you check out our friend Sully at Locked On MLB. And they have a really cool, they have basically called Locked On Now. And on YouTube, you can see all the nows. You can catch up on all the. You'll even see mine on there. I'm going to do one, even though we lost. That's okay. You know what, though, Eric? I'm not like you would think for me, being the homer that I am, the always positive, always Stros guy, that I would be absolutely devastated. I'm not because
It's one loss.
the Yankees deserve that win. The Astros absolutely grabbed defeat out of the jaws of victory, and they shot themselves in the foot.
Yeah, the Yankees won that game. That was, I know Ryan Pressley didn't have his best stuff, and some can say that he really hasn't had his best stuff on the year. And if you look, he gave up 4 runs today. His ERA is above 4 at this moment. And I know Stanek tried to come in and save the day, but even though he came in and I think he was blaring heat, Aaron Judge is used to that. He's used to facing the best of the best, and he came up ready to just get that single, and that's all the Yankees needed at that point to get that run home. And unfortunately, they take the first game. Go ahead.
Now, this is what you call believe it or not, this is a team loss because if that
Right.
3-run home run doesn't happen in the first inning, Mr. Corona said on the side, he said if that first inning 3-run bomb doesn't happen, this is a 6-3 game, and more than likely they don't come back. But then again, they put up 4 in the ninth, so I was amazed though. 12 runs, all 3-run home runs, like what the heck? And, the Astros, after they scored those 6 runs, they didn't do anything after that. I mean, Yuli came up with a double late, but listen to this, okay? Tonight, and I don't think I updated the numbers at the end of the game, so I'm probably off. So if you go back and you love fact checking me to tell me where I'm wrong, I'm probably missing a couple of ABs here. But at one point, the 1 through 5 hitters were 10 for 16. The 6 through 9 hitters were 1 for 14. I was like, that was through 5 innings or 6 innings. 6 through 9 was an absolute black hole in this lineup.
Right.
If 6 through 9 could have gotten more hits, they probably could have produced more runs. We wouldn't be in that situation. You see what I'm saying? So while
Yeah.
we can blame Pressley, we can blame Stanek. You can always do more in the beginning. You've got to put a little bit of blame on Framber. Now, after Framber gave up the bomb, he settled down. Now, technically, it's not his job anymore to hold it. He's out of the game, so he can't control it. So blame is a funny word. Is actually blame's really not a great word in baseball because it doesn't just depend on one singular moment, right? Like if an umpire makes a final call strike, kind of like last year, the tragic half swing call where the Giants were knocked out of the playoffs, right? Ended their playoff hopes, ended their World Series hopes. The Giants should have done more before that point, so they're not in that position to get beat by the umpire. And the Astros did leave several people on base. So that was another issue. You know what? But here's the thing. I wonder how many people are betting on Yordan Alvarez becoming the all-time single season home run leader because the most is 42 by, I believe, by Bregman and Bagwell. And Yordan is on pace to hit 50 home runs. So betonline.net is your number one source for all your betting needs and sports info. Find all the latest sports developments, league reviews, and news, including this year's NHL playoffs and Major League Baseball. BetOnline is your continued source for all your sports wagering information, including live betting, esports, and scores. And betonline.net remains the best spot for all your sports scores, podcasts, and news this season. BetOnline.net is the fastest and easiest way to check in all of your favorite sports and events, including MMA, boxing, and golf. Head to the website today and use your mobile device and learn more about the trends in action. Bet online, where the game starts.
All right, so I did see a move today that Josh James, was added to the 60-day IL, and Taylor Jones was taken off the IL and optioned down to AAA. So he was
Yes.
added back to the 40-man, the 60, whatever, what I'm trying to say. But he was added back to the roster. But so I didn't see that Jake Myers was in the dugout. So what are we hearing about Jake Myers, and has Dusty Baker said anything about when he could be active?
I mean, I believe he'll be active tomorrow. From what I understand, all arrows and all signs point to him being available tomorrow for the Houston Astros. Now, while I'm saying that, I'm going to go and check. One of the things coming into tonight, Ryan Pressley had his last 3 save opportunities had gotten saves. And Eric, coming into
Right,
this game, the bullpen ERA rankings are this. Okay, Astros number 1
right,
until tonight at 255. Yankees number 2 at 292. The Guardians at third, 296, Rays 304, and Braves 306. So the Astros have had the best bullpen or have the best bullpen in the major leagues. Sometimes it just doesn't go your way. So
right.
I don't know. I just, you just wonder like what might have been. This loss, while it was a gut punch, it's not the end of the world. But Presley hadn't pitched back-to-back days since May 21st and 22nd. So maybe there's something to that. The bottom line is when he was on the mound, and I would like anybody to make a comment on here, I'll throw it up there. It just didn't seem like they had like Presley had it. I mean, he was doing terrible.
Yeah, and that was Aaron Hicks' third home run of the season. And this is a guy who he used to be a pretty good hitter. He was one of the Yankees' top hitters, but he's not that anymore. He's more of a role player for the Yankees. He's dealt with a lot of injuries that have kind of sidelined his career, but this was a big moment for him this season, and so unfortunately, it was against the Astros. But that's what good teams do. They have those role players kind of step up, and that's what hopefully we can have with Jake Myers if he does come back up. That's what we hope to have with Yuli. I mean, not that he's necessarily a role player, but we hope that we can get his bat going now that Bregman's bat is going. Uh, if Bregman continues to hit, that's going to be awesome. But I'm not worried about this Astros lineup. I'm not worried about this bullpen. I mean, every so often you're going to have a bullpen implosion, but this bullpen is still one of the most reliable in baseball. So I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about Ryan Presley. I don't think it was the back-to-back days. I just think that it was the Yankees just had his number in this game.
Well, and Presley more times than not causes reason for pause. Sometimes, now someone here mentioned something that I thought during the game, and I'm glad I posted it. It says, whose brilliant idea was it to not bunt with two guys on and no outs? We're up by 3, not down 3. We should have absolutely been bunting. I mean, 100% should have been bunting. And I'm going back to look at that, sequence. I know that was a time whenever we had, I believe, Jose Siri was up. He should have bunted. Maldonado acted like he was going to bunt, but Jose Siri popped up on a terrible pitch. And I mean, Yuli Gurriel doubled. Mauricio Dubon gets on base. You've got a guy on first and second, no outs. And then 1 out, Jose Siri pops up. Marty Maldonado grounds out on a double play. Both of those guys should have been bunting. Now, Marty Maldonado showed he squared to bunt, Eric, but he was just squaring to bunt because it was 3 balls and no strikes. He wasn't going to hit that ball. I don't understand why we don't play small ball. You got Mauricio Dubon, who's pretty fast. I mean, come on. Like, Jose Siri, I'm sorry. Yeah, okay. He hit a bomb the other day. Great job. Good job. He pipped the home run. Everybody's pissed about that. Whatever. Who cares? He tweeted about it. Who cares? He's got 4 home runs. He's hitting under 200. Bunt. Do something. Okay, Yordan Alvarez, example. Yordan freaking Alvarez. All-world Yordan. Like, from Planet Mars, Yordan Alvarez. When he was in a slump, he called his dad. He said, Dad, what do I do? He said, bunt. Get out of the slump. What did he do? He bunted to left field, past the third base, got out of the slump. If Yordan Alvarez can do it, dang it, Jose Siri can do it.
Yeah, and sometimes it's going to take maybe going down to AAA to get his bat really going, because this guy is going to be a force for the Astros at some point. He's got a lot of passion, a lot of drive, and his defense is really good. We see that with the defensive run saved, and I just think that he needs to get more playing time. I think that we've seen Chas McCormick get a lot of playing time, and so I think that he just hasn't gotten a lot of playing time, and so I don't know. I just think that he's probably going to be the one that goes down. Dubon has earned his spot on the team, especially now with Jeremy Pena still injured. So we'll see what happens long term. But I think if Jake Myers is ready to go, the Astros owe him a chance to come and play, because he is the Astros' best option for center fielder. When he's healthy, he can be the Astros' answer.
Now, the question is this, Eric. I believe tomorrow's game Garrett Cole, or Saturday's game Garrett Cole?
I believe Saturday, or because
Okay.
tomorrow is Verlander, I believe, right?
Yeah, okay. Yes, okay. Justin
It's
Verlander
Verlander
tomorrow.
versus Severino, I believe you said
Okay.
yesterday.
I would rather Jake Myers start his first game against Severino. And if you feel like you need to rest him, put Chas McCormick in there for Garrett Cole. I don't want Jake Myers' first pitcher to be Garrett Cole. He's pitching too well. And it all depends on where the timing is. And it's like they asked James Click today. They asked him about Jake Myers. Actually, they asked him when they were in Houston. They were like, are y'all concerned about his timing and stuff? You know, he was only batting 148. I believe it was Brian McTaggart asking him. I want to give him the credit for that question. And he said, look, guys go down to AAA on assignments all the time and strike out like 10 times in 20 at-bats, and they come up in the big leagues and hit a home run. So
Right.
We're not concerned about what they produce at the AAA level. We just want to make sure that their timing's there. And if his timing's right, that is what we're going to worry about. If his shoulder's healthy, if he's healthy enough to run, let him patrol center field. I think Jake Myers and Chas McCormick need to play center field the rest of this series. If Jose Siri doesn't get sit down, I'll be shocked, because I don't know who else you're going to send down. And hey, let's talk about this. Mauricio Dubon, he looks really comfortable out there. Now, they did say that Jeremy Pena is nearing a return. Okay, he
Okay.
may be back this series. They didn't say he'd be back this series, but Blum and TK were kind of hinting like, yeah, they said some really positive things about him coming back. I think if Pena can come back by Saturday or Sunday, that would be a really good thing because he's with the club. Why are you looking like that? I'm just telling you what
No,
they
no,
said
no.
on the
I'm trying
broadcast.
to. No, I'm
Oh,
trying to think of the roster movement. Like, okay, when Pena's ready, who are you going to send down? Because there's not that many. I guess no. JJ Manajevic. Okay, never mind.
JJ Matijevic will go. He
Yeah,
came up because of Pena.
yeah,
But here's the deal. Here's the deal. Dubon looks really good out there.
yeah.
Dubon's not a bad player. And at the end of the day, I think after this year, I think we keep him over Diaz.
Yeah, I think Diaz, especially with the way he's been performing this year. In the past, he's dealt with injuries a lot, and he's dealing with injury partially right now. I believe he hasn't played yet. So I think that the Astros, I believe this is his last year of his deal. So I think the Astros go with the cheaper option in Dubon. And so I think that's partially why they went out and traded for him. So yeah, I think you're right. You hit the nail on the head there. And the Astros have their shortstop of the future, and Jeremy Pena, and he's shown that he can be just as dynamic and as influential to this team as Carlos Correa was, if not more. So we'll see how this goes, but the Astros still can win this series. The series is not over. And like somebody said in the comments earlier, even if they split the series against the Yankees are one of the teams that the the teams that the Astros are going to face. That is the biggest test.
Now, here's the deal. Alex Bregman, Eric, now has a 6-game hitting streak. He has a 6-game hitting streak. And as the sun comes out and small businesses are back in business, LinkedIn Jobs makes it easier to grow your team. LinkedIn Jobs helps you find the people you want to interview faster and for free. Create a free job post in minutes on LinkedIn Jobs to reach your network and beyond to the world's largest professional network of over 810 million people. Then add your job in the purple hashtag hiring frame to your LinkedIn profile to spread the word that you're hiring so that your network can help you find the right people to hire. Simple tools like screening questions make it easier to focus on candidates with just the right skills and experience so you can quickly prioritize who you'd like to interview and hire. It's why small businesses rate LinkedIn Jobs number one in delivering quality hires versus leading competitors. LinkedIn Jobs helps you find the candidates you want to talk to faster. Did you know every week nearly 40 million job seekers visit LinkedIn? Post your job for free at linkedin.com/lockedonmlb. That's linkedin.com/lockedonmlb to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply. So I say we wrap this up. We kind of look ahead to the game tomorrow
Okay.
and I'll match up because I've got the computer in front of me. I know you don't, unless you've whittled a computer out of wood
No,
and bark,
I'm
which I
in.
don't think
I've
you
got
have.
I've got forest behind me, and I've got
There you go.
a
You got a forest.
grasshopper in front of me. I'm
Well,
wondering if he needs to go to Indeed.com and put a resume to try to get a job to be a grasshopper somewhere. I don't know.
I was like, hold on, that is not an ad read. I'm not doing that. I don't even have a script. Okay, so let's look. So we're going to the 24th. The 24th is tomorrow, or if you're listening today, is Friday. Justin Verlander versus Luis Severino. Justin Verlander 8-3, Severino 4-1. Verlander outs to Severino's 80, and Verlander's ERA is just under his at 2.30, where Severino's at 3.27. The Yankees that have had the most success in their career against Justin Verlander, and there are a lot of at bats, and there's not many that have had a ton of success. LeMahieu, Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, and Josh Donaldson. When you look at the other side, who the Astros have had success with and squared up against, Jason Castro's batting 1,000 with one at bat. So hey, why don't you give him the nod? I mean, I guess it's a swing or a miss either way, right?
Yeah.
Yuli Gurriel at 417 and Jose Altuve at 308. So you've got a good matchup. Severino is a solid pitcher. I mean, look, if this game tells me anything, Eric, number one, it doesn't worry me to the point to where I feel like if we play the Yankees, we're outmatched. But it does tell me that this Yankees stadium playing in the Bronx is so difficult to win this year. And they've got such a good team. I mean, that crowd was literally like they were eviscerated. They weren't saying a word. All it took was just like a flip of the switch and they
Right.
got on. The Astros, I think, grinding right now, even if they lose a loss like this, or if they win tomorrow and lose the next game, whatever, split the series, they know what they're made of. It doesn't determine who's going to win in the end, but they know they have now a starting point. They have a control. They have okay, we did this. This is our baseline. This is where we need to go. It's a great measuring stick. It's not the end of the world if the Yankees win the series 3-4 or 3-1. It doesn't mean the Yankees are all of a sudden champions. What the Yankees have not done since I've been alive, or anyone on this earth has been alive, is beat the Astros in a playoff series. And until they do that, the Astros still own the Yankees. It was like Father's Day again today, but apparently, the sons got the better end of the deal because their daddies went home crying. Jose Altuve, because he's the Yankees' daddy, right? So I was like, yeah,
Trying
look,
to see where you're going with that.
well, I mean, it's Father's Day
Yeah.
again. It's always Father's Day when we're there because we own these guys in the playoffs. But give them respect. They beat our guys.
Yeah.
Our guys didn't hold the line, and we live to play
The
another
Yankees won
game.
today. Yeah. Right. The Yankees did what it took to win this game, and unfortunately, the Astros had it. I mean, I haven't looked at Statcast, but I'm sure not Statcast, based on the winning percentage, I'm sure it was like this, then like this, like this, like this, the winning percentage, and then all of a sudden it was like this, and then it went like that. So unfortunately, it was. I guess they're doing a cookie raid behind me.
Man, the bots are out in force. I wonder if these. No, these aren't Yankee fans. I'm joking. It is insane, dude. I'm sitting here going back to these comments. We may need at some point to get someone to come in and kind of help produce where they help us monitor comments. That would be a nice thing to add to the show. I'm being really honest. So you and I need to talk about that because it's getting
Well, I
bad out
normally
here.
can do it. Like I have YouTube up when I'm at home. I normally do that, but I can't do that right now. But yeah, I know it's getting pretty bad. But yeah, I just think that the Astros need to take care of business. Continue doing what they did today. Get big hits. Get the big 3-run home runs. You can't rely on Alvarez to continue to do what he did. And so I don't know if you see the kids running behind me, but they're doing a cookie raid. Like
I cannot
golf
see.
carts are
All I
chasing
see
them around.
is
But
no, I don't see anything. I just see
but
darkness behind you. Hey, Eric, watch out.
yeah,
Watch out.
but
There's a bear. There's a bear behind you. I'm checking. Go ahead.
so, but the Astros just need to keep on going and taking care of business, and hopefully, hopefully it's a better result tomorrow, and hopefully bullpen can kind of maintain the lead because the Astros need to show the Yankees that they mean business, and this does
Yeah.
mean something for the Astros. I mean, they took care of business against the Mets, but it that in the Astros clubhouse, this means something. This
Well,
series of all the series they played.
one thing I can tell you, sorry for interrupting, is that the Yankees are for real. The Mets are the Mets.
Right.
I mean, everybody I talk to from New York, they're like, okay, you do realize you're pumping up the New York Mets. Like, you know what they do almost every time. 1986. I mean, the bottom of this, the Astros have got Yordan Alvarez. Kyle Tucker. Oh, we didn't talk about this. Kyle Tucker, and I couldn't tell if the ball was out of the ballpark or if he saved one run. But Kyle Tucker absolutely sacrificed his body in right field and robbed Rizzo of either a double, a triple, or a home run. I don't know if the ball was going over the fence, but it was one amazing grab. That sucked the wind out of that stadium. And I was like, okay, That's when I thought, okay, we got this. Like he stopped that, we got this. And I think I sent that to you. I think I sent
Yeah,
you a
you
text
you
about it.
texted me that. You're like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, that's it,
Yes.
and
Yeah, I was like, we're gonna do it. And so, anyways, well, hey, here's the thing: Jordan Alvarez is on pace to get 30 home runs before the All-Star break. Like someone said, he's on pace to get 50 plus home runs. The Astros will be back. They still have fight. Bregman is
right.
back. They're looking good overall. We just got to shore up that back into that bullpen. And I don't even care about the Braves right now. They're in the National League. I'm Htown Wheelhouse. He's Eric Huysman. Eric, anything you want to say before we part ways with our people? We got 69 people online, and it's on the night of the 69th game in Major League Baseball. It's destiny. 69 dudes. All right. You got anything?
Noise. No, I'm on my back. I'm on my way back home tomorrow, and then I'll be going somewhere else. But I'll be excited to get out of this heat for a little bit. It's been great, but be great to have some internet consistently. But thank you for listening to Lock on Astros podcast. Thank you for making us your first listen every day. Make sure you go ahead and subscribe to us on YouTube. Just go to YouTube, search Lock on Astros, and go ahead and make us your first listen on Apple, Odyssey, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcast. Check us out.